Her name is Blonde. Atomic Blonde.
How does it feel to treat me like you do when you laid your hands upon me and told me?
Atomic Blonde is directed by David Leitch and it is starring Charlize Theron, James McAvoy, Toby Jones, John Goodman, and Sofia Boutella. Before I go any further, I just want to say there will not be any plot spoilers in this review. This film takes place in November of 1989 towards the end of the Cold War in Berlin, Germany. And it centers around the MI6 agent of Laura Broughton, who is portrayed by Charlize Theron, and she is sent into Berlin to investigate the death of an MI6 agent as well as the theft of an agent's list. This film is an amalgamation of several different aspects of the spy/thriller genre. It takes the plot pacing and cadence of an old-school Cold War spy thriller, something that would be an adaptation of a Jean Le Carré novel, but it also takes the plot of a Mission Impossible or James Bond film infused with the action sequences of a John Wick. First, I will start off with the positives of the film, and I would say the most positive aspect I have with this film is Charlize Theron. She is fantastic in this film. She is an MI6 agent who has a lot of complexities to her character, and Charlize is able to bring a lot of those complexities to light even if the plot doesn't really delve into them too much. Also, she does a lot of the physical stunt work herself, and you can definitely tell that in the film, and it's much appreciated when the actors go an extra mile and do stuff like that. You also get James McAvoy, who I still believe is one of the most underrated actors working today. He always gives a very good performance in all of the films I have seen from him, and in this film as well. He is charismatic, but he's also mysterious. He's a rather darker character, and he is someone playing another MI6 agent, but he has been in Berlin a lot longer than any other agent, and you can kind of see how that works on his character. Sofia Boutella is also in this film. She's kind of a rising star. She's been in a few very high marquee films, and I think she is good in this film when she is in it, but also I think that she is rather underused and her entire plot in general is rather underwritten. If the name David Leitch sounds familiar, it is because he is one half of the directing crew of the John Wick film, and he has infused a lot of his direction from that film into this film, especially when it comes to the overall aesthetic of this film. This film has an interesting stylized feeling to it, and the action sequences are just incredible. The main issue, I would say, is that they are very far and few between, but when they hit extremely hard, and they are impeccably well done. The stunt choreography, the camera work, the lighting, everything in those sequences is some of the best you will see on screen this year. A lot of the thematic depth in the film is inherent in the Charlize Theron character. Unfortunately, it's not really delved in too much, and I really wanted to get more into her character, why she's doing what she's doing, how she became a spy, all this kind of stuff that really would have kind of built her character. They really don't delve into in the film, which I think is unfortunate. Also, with this old school spy thriller espionage type feeling of the film, it doesn't help the plot pacing. The plot pacing of the film can be rather slow, it can be rather boring to some. For me, who is kind of familiar with the old school spy thriller, it didn't bother me too much, but it definitely hindered the overall enjoyment of the film, especially when this film was heavily marketed as being more of an action film, and it is definitely not. It's more contemplative, it's more investigative. That is not what I think a lot of people were expecting going into it. Although the plot is somewhat generic and easy to follow, there is a lot of convolutedness when it comes to characters' motivations. We're not quite sure why certain characters are doing what they're doing, and it becomes a little questionable as to why certain things are happening. The soundtrack utilizes a lot of great 80s music, and it meshes with a lot of the scenes very well, but also at some points it becomes overbearing and overused and distracting at times, so it's a bit of a mixture of good and bad. With all that being said, I'm going to give this film a 3.6 out of 5 stars. There are a lot of good aspects to this film, there are a lot of not so good aspects to this film, but overall I found myself enjoying it. I found myself being rather intrigued by everything that was going on when it came to the plot, but ultimately I think it is not the film most expected. This has been my review of Atomic Blonde. If you like this video, please check out the other videos on my channel.